right, welcome to The Highway, the first podcast of Extracted, and hopefully a few podcasts to come after this at least. This may be a hilarious failure or a hilarious success, but either way, I think it will be hilarious. So thank you for joining us, everybody out there. I appreciate everybody's support, and we're going to get started with this. My name is Ryan Hutton, as most of you know. I teach for Extracted, and I really started that company just to kind of get some abilities or get some stuff outside of government work, because as we know, government's really the worst thing that's ever come to fruition. So anyway, started that company so I can have a little bit of creative ability, and we've got a lot of good feedback about starting a podcast, so this is what we're going to start. And I have been a officer for about 12 years now, so a law enforcement officer. I was a city copper in the city of Monett, Missouri, which is southwest Missouri, about an hour southwest of Springfield. It was a phenomenal job, worked with phenomenal people. I just wanted to move on from that, but they treated me phenomenally. I would definitely go back to that if something ever happened. So I appreciate them and all they do. It's a great agency. I was there for about 4 years and then started at the Greene County Sheriff's Office. And I was originally assigned to the DWI unit there, which was probably the best gig that I've ever had, because all we did was drive around and look for impaired drivers, which is really what I like to do. Then I moved on to my current agency, which is not to be named, so that I don't violate any sort of rules or regulations. And then started Extracted, and here I am. So obviously we do training, not only in Missouri, but across the country. And we're expanding out to a podcast. I think that most of you will enjoy this, so we'll kind of see how it goes. What I'm looking forward to this podcast, honestly, is probably the randomness of it that's going to occur, and also introducing a what I call a wild man to the world. I don't know if I'll regret this or not, or if you guys will appreciate it or not, but he's definitely a wild man. I'm not going to say how I know him, but I did meet him back in college. And here we are. So we're going to go with Bird.
Bird, what's up?
So here's the Bird, or the Bird. Here's Bird.
One and only.
I guess he is the one and only. I will put, if you're okay with it, I'll probably put a picture of us up while we're doing the podcast, since we're not doing video.
Absolutely.
All right, so you can see this maniac. If you don't want to... You're really going to want to see what this guy looks like, to be honest with you. So, I'm introducing Bird to the world. When he becomes famous, I'm going to claim that I introduced him to you guys. So, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, if you're comfortable talking about all that or naming things, and what you're looking forward to from the podcast.
Absolutely. So, I'm Bird. I have a background in military. Didn't go that well. Got out after 5 years.
Should we start when I met you in college, though?
Yeah, let's start back there.
Okay, so...
boy, college days. It was good. I was actually in law enforcement I guess criminal justice.
Yeah, criminal justice, yeah.
And then I ended up getting some bad grades.
So bad grades meaning you could not continue, or you just decided to get out?
Just got out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So got out of college. Wasn't for you.
Wasn't for me. And then I was actually journeying down the road, glanced to my right, saw a recruiting station.
I assume that's the one there on Range Line?
Yeah. Okay. Right there on Range Line.
So you're driving away from college, obviously.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, it's in the dust. I knew that I wasn't going back. And so I saw that recruiting station on the right and swung in there, see what they had to offer.
So you walk in, what do they say? Welcome, my son?
Well, they pretty much either called me stupid or had a lot of balls just to walk in there by myself with nothing to offer, just asking what they had, job wise. So I walked in the Marine Corps recruiting station, and immediately when you walk in, you end up having to take one. What's that? ASVAB in high school.
I think we're required to take the ASVAB.
Yeah, and so I goofed that off in high school. So they looked up your scores. They can look that up.
Does anybody take that serious?
I hope not. Anyways, walked in there, took that ASVAB because my score was incredibly low.
The one you took in high school was too low.
Too low.
So you had to retake it.
Yeah, they're almost like, the Marine Corps was like, we won't even accept you with that low.
And the ASVABs are pretty much just a general knowledge test of can you function as a human being.
Like, it's only, like, I think you get points for just being able to breathe and, like, jotting your name down.
And I didn't do very good. You're not sure if you got
I don't even think I got those points.
Okay.
So I ended up...
So you redo it.
Redid
I
it.
assume you score better.
I did. I actually took it serious. Scored enough to actually... Well, what they get you with is like, what'd you get out of college with? And I'm like...
Uh-oh.
I want to be a police officer. And they're like, well, we got just the thing for you. Security forces. In the military. And I'm like, heck yeah. So they got me with that. So I ended up doing... My military enlistment was a 2013 through 2018, 5-year. And I ended up doing 3 years in security forces out east, on the East Coast. And then the remainder of that 5 years, I was in California with the 1-7 unit out there in 29 Palms.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got ventured over into military, pretty much because I ended up doing not very good in college, and that was my resort of making mama proud.
Okay. So went to the Marine Corps. When did you get out?
2018. Got out in December.
Okay. So for other, because obviously this isn't just a law enforcement podcast, but that's probably who our main audience is going to be initially anyway. Do you think that there is anything to be had for military people listening to this? Is there any sort of interest from them, you think?
Yeah, I think kind of the military and law enforcement kind of share the same, similar ideas and humor, maybe,
So
I would say.
We both have a sadistic sense of humor.
Yeah, we're pretty much in
Okay.
the toilet can with that stuff.
Okay, fair enough. All
But,
right.
yeah, and I think that the listeners will enjoy, even if they're not military or prior law enforcement, I think that they'll still enjoy hearing about, especially what you have to say about the upcoming news and all that stuff.
All right, fair enough. So also we've been given an outline to stick to for this podcast because sometimes we get off task, which is you'll find out is pretty normal. So I'm going to try to stick to this outline, at least for the first podcast, so that we can kind of stick to a timeline. So the next thing I'm supposed to really ask you is, you have a passion for... I shouldn't say passion. I really don't like the word passion because everybody, I have a passion for this. I don't like that. But you tend to get into some shenanigans from time to time.
Yeah, I like to dip my toes in it.
Okay, you like to dabble?
Yeah, I like to test the waters.
Test the water. So,
yeah.
Do you have any... Of course, this is putting you on the spot. Is there anything that comes to mind that would... You know what? Can I tell one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So...
Because this involves both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I assume you know which one.
Well, I don't know.
No, I'm just
We've had a lot.
I'm talking about the weenus.
Oh, yeah. Go for it. No.
Should I tell that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say
it's
it's
not
good.
bad.
No. Even if it was bad, you can say it.
Okay. So, that's true. I don't know. It's a couple months ago, we go out and we go to an unknown drinking establishment in Joplin, Missouri, which apparently is a place that we are not supposed to go. But we go there and we start having a few drinks and chit-chatting, and all of a sudden, old Bird here disappears, which I'm going to end up saying your real name just so
That's
you
fine.
know, and we'll have to edit that out. So old Bird here disappears. So no big deal. I kind of chit-chats with some other people. We're having a good time. And all of a sudden, he pokes back up, and he's doing the old, what would you call that?
Ball gazer.
Ball gazer?
Yeah, I think a lot of people know that.
That's the official name, the ball gazer?
I think that's what I call it.
So it's a grown man doing the ball gazer. If you don't know what the ball gazer is, you're connecting your index finger and your thumb with your 3 fingers out below the waist, and you're trying to get people to look at it. And if they look at it, apparently they lose or you hit them.
You punch them.
You're supposed to punch them.
Yeah.
So we weren't socking people.
No.
That I saw. I didn't see you.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he may not remember. But anyway, a grown man walking through the bar doing the ball gazer. And there's another guy in there that we knew from college who was would you call him a star quarterback? I don't even know. Would you say star? He was a quarterback.
He was actually, I think, for Southern,
yeah, you can say
yeah, for Southern, he was the wide receiver.
Yeah, we just won't say his name. Oh, wide receiver.
Yeah, he was wide receiver. Big guy, and he was actually a very good athlete.
Okay.
But
so now he weighs I don't know, in college he's probably what, 200, pretty good shape.
Yeah, athletic build.
Athletic. Now, yeah, so you see the guy,
yeah.
And what's he look like other than a sack of dirty laundry at this point?
Well, I mean, he looks pretty rough. He looks like beard, long hair, not knocking beards.
No, because you also have a beard.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy. But yeah, he's very big. I wouldn't say he was athletic right now.
Sure. And I would like to
him.
bash him for being in that bar, but you and I were also in that bar, so I really can't do that.
No, let's bash him.
Okay, we can bash this person for being in the bar.
Yeah.
So anyway, you see him, and this guy makes direct eye contact with me, and grabs this unknown person, by the weenus. And if you don't know what the weenus is, it's if you straighten out your arm, it's the loose skin on the back of your elbow.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes up to this guy, grabs the weenus. What did you say to him?
I just told him he had a nice weenus.
Has a nice weenus. And away we go. So that was, which I'm not going to, do I talk about my ending of that night? Should I?
You can.
All right.
Heck,
I don't know. That may get me.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, let's not.
We can talk about my ending.
We'll save that. Later. Yeah, we'll save that for later. So that's a very minor event that occurred, but he's also, what are you, 30?
Yeah, I think so.
So 30-year-old, I think so.
Yeah, I'm 30.
30-plus-year-old man running around telling people to have a nice weenus. There's some other shenanigans that happened that night, but I guess I'm going to leave mine out of it.
Yeah, I mean, threw up a lot.
Which is pretty, I would say, common. Well, it wasn't.
For a night out. For a night out.
So for being honest, Bird has been looking forward to this podcast more than I am.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not looking forward to it.
No, I'm pumped.
So this guy has been messaging me, and anytime that I'm here, which I don't even know if we live close together. Let's just say that we're neighbors. And anytime that I was down here, hey, let's get the podcast going. So I guess my question to you is, why are you looking forward to this podcast? What do you think is going to come of it?
Well, I think a lot's going to come from it. I think actually people will find some information on here that not so much into, like myself, who aren't really involved with the law of Missouri and other laws. I think people will find very informative stuff with it. That being said, I also think that we're pretty funny, and I think a lot of people will also like to listen to us. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Might not.
Maybe
like
it's
us.
a miserable failure, and we just delete it.
And that also could be the case. But it would be fun while it lasted, I guess. Right?
Yeah, it's a good ride at least.
Yeah.
All right, so we do have, it is just Bird and I, but there is, I guess, one other person in the room with us, which we'll probably introduce. We are going to have some probably future guests. We have some interesting characters that have been introduced into our lives, but they're not going to be here on the initial one, kind of getting a test run here of how it goes, getting some feedback from everybody listening. If it sucks, tell us it sucks, but in a nice way. But I'm going to go ahead and let old Bird here take over and introduce the third person in the room.
Absolutely. We got Smee, our subject matter expert for the podcast. And I want to let her talk about herself and what kind of she brings to the table. So here she is, Smee.
And I'll pop off real quick. I think everybody knows what Smee is that's listening to this podcast. But if you don't, do you want to tell us, Smee, what SME stands for?
Yeah, so SME stands for Subject Matter Expert, and that is a very vague term, I realize. For the purposes of this podcast, my subject matter expertise is keeping these guys online and tasked with the podcast. So again, I'll answer some random questions they have, perform some fact-checking services, whatever is needed while we're recording.
So, but we're always on task and we know everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think.
Well, then I may be very bored. Yeah, I may just be bored over here.
Yeah, you're going to be just doing random stuff.
You'll be bored.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll tell one time where you've already had to step in for me. So I was live on Instagram or Facebook or something. Is that right?
Yeah, Instagram Live.
And somebody said, oh, hey, I'm going to go to Canada to do a presentation or something like that. And one of the people on the live, is a recording podcast? I don't know what you call that. Live feed says, oh yeah, what part of Canada? And I said, I'm going to Ontario. And they said, oh, what part of Ontario? And I'm thinking, I don't know, it's Ontario. I'm thinking it's a city. So this guy's like, which I know him well, I'm just not going to mention his name. I know him well, pretty good dude. Hooked me up with some nice Royal Canadian Mounted Police memorabilia. But he says, what part of Ontario? And I'm like, I don't know. I think it's just a city. And he said, no, it's a province. Well, I don't know what a province is. So I was reliant on my SME to tell me what a province is, which is what?
It is kind of the Canadian form of a state. They're just much, much, much larger. So honestly, like the Midwest size of a state would be a province in Canada.
The entire Midwest.
Basically, yeah. From like, straight up Wisconsin to like Louisiana or something.
Well, it makes zero sense to me if I'm being honest.
It's so Canadian.
Big state.
Yeah,
so
listen,
Canadian.
we're not doing provinces. We're doing states, or we're doing nothing.
That's right.
That's where I'm at. Okay, so the SME will be in the room with us. Keep us on task, which we do not plan on doing. In fact, we plan on challenging you and doing the complete opposite of what you tell us to do basically every time.
Literally every time.
That is to be expected. Again, my expertise comes from practice and keeping you on task. But again, once we start, integrating some questions or something from the audience, then that's the role that I can help fill with you all. So.
All right. Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks, me.
And you're making a lot of money to be here.
Oh yeah, just paid, just beyond.
Big bucks.
Big bucks.
Just
paid.
living off of us.
Big
Basically.
bucks. Yeah, basically
Literally,
just mooching.
the talent.
Mooching
Just
off the
sucking
talent.
off of us
Just
like
right
a
in the-
daggum
right in the
sucker
coat.
fish.
Right
Yeah.
in the coattails, if you will.
If Bird and I ever disappear, just know that we recognize we're the talent of this entire podcast, and she has pushed us to the point where we've got to go somewhere else. She's basically, are you an agent?
Yeah, I'm your agent.
She's our agent. She is
Manager,
our manager,
producer.
our producer, fact checker, SME-er, maybe schmear,
Whiskey pourer.
cigar lighter, picture taken, ring light lighting, heater turning on, and
Yep.
all kinds of good stuff.
All the functions.
Yes.
All of it.
So you probably won't hear from her very much. In fact, probably not very often at all.
Nope.
Because I assume she's just going to send some stuff over our way for us to read and tell us that we're wrong, which we'll completely ignore.
Yeah, because we're naturally right anyways.
Absolutely. So, go ahead, pop it. If you did hear that pop, that was the SME popping a second glass of whiskey, which, if anybody's going to keep us on task, clearly it's going to be someone who's drunk on whiskey. So during the podcast, it's not just going to be us just rambling on about non-issues. We're going to talk about certain things. Obviously, anybody that knows me, I typically talk about and train any sort of like drugs or some sort of drug trend that's going on. We clearly just legalized marijuana in Missouri, so I put out a course on that. Also debuting in 2023 is a course that I call Drug Trends. And in Drug Trends, we talk about certain drugs or popular drugs that are in Missouri and across the nation that officers are dealing with. And in the current Drug Trends course, we talk about P2P methamphetamine, which if you don't know what that is, come to the course, obviously, or we can obviously discuss it some other time. A couple other hot topics in Drug Trends, clearly fentanyl or synthetic opioids. And then two other ones that are not necessarily specific to Missouri, but we do see quite often, are Delta 8 and Kratom. And a lot of people don't know what Delta 8 is, what it does. Is it legal? Is it illegal? I do give I don't want to say my opinion, but I make a strong suggestion if it's legal or illegal. Some people disagree with me, but it is what it is. Another one is Kratom I'm going to talk about, which, speaking of Kratom, the only time I'm going to rant just for a second. The only time I've gotten a bad review on our website is from somebody that has never listened to a course and went on there and started bashing me that I was talking bad about Kratom, though they've never heard what I said about Kratom. So we do have, I would say, a SME in the room on Delta 8 and Kratom.
That's me.
So I do want to talk about the effects of Delta 8 and Kratom, and I'm going to let you hear it from I'm not going to call you a Delta 8 and Kratom user because that's not an accurate statement. But you did use it.
Yeah.
So are you?
No, I don't do it all the time. I like we said before, I like to dip my toes in some things.
Okay.
And I dip my toes in some Delta 8.
Okay. And what?
And a little Kratom, I think, from the packaging.
But I think it was both, right? Or was it both in the same one, or was it two separate things?
I believe on the package it said Delta 8, Kratom, and had a little bit of anti-inflammatory CBD.
Okay, because you gotta
I had to relax the
make
muscles.
sure your joints.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure your joints
Yeah.
are good. Okay, so are you comfortable telling the Delta 8 Kratom story?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay, so
Sure.
all right, so let's start from the beginning. I'm guessing you're getting off work.
Off work.
Okay, off work, headed home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you head home from Grove, Oklahoma.
That's right.
To an unknown location in Missouri.
Yep.
Okay, so you're headed through and go.
All right. I glance off to my left, and I see a gas station. And might I say, they sell everything. And so I went to the liquor side first, picked up some liqueur.
Did you go in there for liquor, or did you go in there for a reason?
I went in there for a reason.
Okay.
For the gummies.
Oh, so you went in for the gummies, but
and
you
I
went
bought
to
the liquor
side.
to cover up the symptoms of the gummies.
Okay.
I bought that to hide it and say I was just too drunk. If it messed me up a lot.
Okay, but you didn't know what was going to happen.
No, absolutely
But you
not.
had the forethought to go, I'm going to go in this gas station. Proactively go in the gas station and say, you know what, I'm going to buy some booze.
Just because that's normal for me.
Yeah, so yeah, the booze is expected, right?
Yeah.
But you thought, okay, if this jacks me up, I'll just drink some whatever
just gonna
you
cover
have.
it up.
What'd you have, whiskey?
It was like a coffee mix, like a liqueur, and I just would pour
So
it in
you're
my
going
coffee.
classy. You're feeling classy.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so that's what I bought with the gummies.
Okay, so you go in, you get the coffee liqueur,
Yeah.
and then you head over to, I assume there's a Delta 8 gummy section.
Yeah. It's right when you walk to the register. It's right there, staring you
Right
in the
up
eyes.
front.
Yeah, it's staring.
Just begging to be bought.
It's like, chew me.
Okay, so it whispers, chew me.
That's
and
what
you
it is.
whisper back what?
I'm gonna do it. So,
Okay. So you see I assume, display case of products.
yep. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. There's like pre-rolled Delta 8. There's the gummies, like CBD, and all that jazz. They got.
And you have no background in any of this,
No,
right? Okay.
I didn't. No, I have no idea what I'm getting into.
But you're going to dabble.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's what I did. So I got them gummies.
How did you pick out the gummies that you bought, though?
So
Was the packaging nice? Were they the cheapest? Was it the closest to within your grasp?
well, what sold me is because the buddy I work with had Delta 8, and I was going through back problems.
Okay.
And I'm like,
does he say Delta 8 helps
he's a
my
pothead.
back?
Yeah, he's a pothead.
Okay.
So he sold me.
Okay, so he sells it.
And so I'm like, Delta 8, I know, and I'm experienced enough to buy that because the guy that paints cabinets told me it's good for your back.
Because you work at a cabinet shop.
Yeah, because I work at a cabinet shop.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I'll try it out. So I grab it with some liqueur, and then I ended up hightailing it home.
Okay, so you go home,
Get home, and I do it. I do one whole gummy.
just one single gummy.
One single gummy.
Did you read like the instructions, or were
No.
you just like, screw it, I'm in it?
No, I did it. I just plopped it in my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many gummies are in a pack?
I'd have to look that up because I just knew one of them. Hey, Smee,
Yep.
can you Google that for us?
Yeah.
So what did you buy first so she can Google it? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
what?
Did you remember that? But it had
It had Delta 8,
okay,
Kratom, and CBD, and I promise you, it was all in one bag.
which not that I'm doubting. I've never heard
God,
of
you
Delta 8 Kratom CBD all in one bag.
You should doubt me because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay, so you buy this bag that has these three things in it.
Yes.
Okay, so it looks like there's a Mystic Labs option.
Is that what
Does
it
that
was? Do you have a
sound
picture?
familiar?
Yeah. What's it?
Show them a picture.
That is it. The trifecta gummies.
Oh, trifecta. So you got all three. So this is the one you bought.
Mm-hmm.
So looking at the Mystic Labs trifecta gummies, there is 25 milligrams of Delta 8, 21 milligrams of Kratom, and 10 milligrams of CBD. Let's see how many. I assume units
What?
is...
A 5 count.
Okay, so there were 5 in it?
Yep.
Okay, so there's five gummies inside of it. Okay, so there's 5 in there. Is there any instructions on this? Can I see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or here, you tell us how many. Is
I was
it
gonna-
supposed to?
Let's see.
It'd be the first time we both heard it.
So how many is these? How many is there a recommended?
Oh, let's see the back here. Keep out of reach of children.
Damn.
Okay, what you
Missed that
did,
one.
so you're being safe.
Yeah.
What you did.
I left it in my truck.
Okay, good. No sort of recommended dose or half of a gummy
It
or
says
anything?
serving size is 1 gummy.
Okay, so you
I
were
did
right
the
on.
recommended
right,
serving
yeah.
size.
Okay. So you pop the recommended serving size, and you pop it. I assume you chew it up, swallow it. Did you feel anything?
Not instantly.
Okay.
And then I took a little shot of liqueur.
Okay, but you're home now, right?
Yeah, I'm at home. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't do anything crazy. I'm in under the carport, rip a little shot of liqueur, so that if something were to go crazy,
That if we found your corpse and we would smell the liqueur
yeah,
and
like
go,
dang, he had a nice coffee with some
liqueur on his way out.
on his way out.
Okay.
Good on him. And
That's some good forethought.
Yeah.
Forethought.
So I did that.
So rip a shot.
I rip a shot, and I head in the house.
All right.
Well, we were going to decide to watch a movie that night. And to this
Okay,
day,
so you and the wife
me and the wife.
decide to watch a movie.
Yep. And we, and to this day, I still don't remember the movie.
Okay, but you sit down, you do make a conscious decision
To watch
a movie. Okay.
Yep. And so I ended up sitting there, and I think it was like a little first wave action.
Okay, so you're sitting there watching a movie in your recliner, you and the wife watching a movie, and what happens?
Watching, and
So you and the wife decide to watch a movie. You've ripped a gummy, one single, and a shot of coffee liqueur. Go.
movie, the start of it was fine. Because I ate it, we went in there, and we ended up, I was okay. And then that first little kick of it came in, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling the gummy.
Okay, what'd you feel?
It's kind of, because what I ended up feeling, it kind of overrides what I felt in that second. It was like, that second, I'm like, I can handle this.
So just a small...
It was almost like a warmth. Like I felt, I know it sounds crazy.
Okay,
But
no.
like, it was like, I just like, okay, I'm going to sit here and I can manage this. It almost felt like I was high enough, or whatever you want to call it, that I was able to manage that second. I'm
Okay, let me ask you this, and if you're not comfortable, you don't have to answer. Have you ever used marijuana before?
yes.
Okay, so legit just marijuana.
Yeah, full blown.
Okay, so was it comparable, because now it's legal, so we know we can talk about it,
Yeah.
right? Was it comparable to marijuana use?
The overall experience, or just that moment?
Just that moment, the first moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It resembled it, but that overall experience really doesn't compare to marijuana.
All right, so you
In my
felt
mind.
it, felt like marijuana at first. Keep going.
Then it rolled into we were watching that movie, and I was worried, kind of paranoid. Actually, it was.
So you got, but you're not a paranoid person,
no,
I don't think.
No, not really. And I got paranoid about my wife, wondering if I was even remembering the movie.
So you're scared that she doesn't know, or you're paranoid that she doesn't know that you're not remembering the movie.
Yeah, and so then all of a sudden I'm more worried about trying to act cool and not remember the movie. And so I don't remember the movie.
But you're trying to remember it
I'm
so
trying.
that you don't get caught for not remembering
Right.
it.
But then also when I'm trying to remember it,
Which
I'm like,
makes complete sense, obviously, now that we're talking, saying it out loud.
yeah, it's great. I sound completely sane.
Completely sane. You
Yeah.
sound like a normal human being right now.
Yeah. And so I was just paranoid that she's going to catch me because I couldn't remember what we were watching.
So you're trying to remember? Like, you're concentrating.
I was trying to remember, but then when I try to remember, I ended up kind of diverting over to my wife.
So you're actually focused on her.
Yeah. In all reality, it's
Okay.
like a sidebar of the movie and focused on like, oh, she's
And
gonna
does she
catch
have
me.
any clue? She's just watching the movie.
That's what the liquor for, baby.
Okay.
That's what the liquor for.
So she's just thinking you've been drinking.
Yeah, which is
normal.
normal.
Yeah,
Like what
which
we're
is
doing.
normal. I don't remember the last day that I haven't seen you, and I don't mean that in a
No,
in
no.
like a
I mean it-
alcoholic way. I would say you're a connoisseur of the liqueurs.
Yeah, I'm a good time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's normal for you to have a drink after
Right.
work.
It's
okay.
more normal
All right.
for me to be drunk than high.
All right, so she's
So-
just thinking you just had too many shots.
Right.
Okay, so you're not remembering. You're worried that she's not.
Paranoid.
Okay, you're paranoid.
I'm paranoid.
That she is wondering if you remember the movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Which, in all reality, I don't remember the movies regardless. Like, like when we watch them, I'm like sitting there just kind of doing my own thing.
So normally you zone out anyway.
Yeah, but I think what made it more scary was the paranoia kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
And so then that's when I hightailed it outside.
So do you get up in the middle of the
In
movie?
the middle of a movie.
And does she say anything as you're walking outside?
I'm sure. I'm sure she gave me the evil eyes when I walked past her.
Okay.
Like, who is this guy walking out of the movie we just bought on Apple TV?
Oh, so you even purchased it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I gotta get out of here because she's on to me. She's on to me, dude.
So at this point, you think you're caught.
Yeah.
Though she doesn't.
She's probably sitting there just eating dinner. She's probably just sitting there eating dinner, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, she's on to me.
She's on you. All right.
And
so you hightail it outside.
Yeah, so I go to the shop.
Okay, so kind of explain, your house is on one side of a county road, and the shop, just basically like a barn / shed, but you do like welding work.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, when I do work.
So you go across the across the road to the shop.
Yeah.
And do you start any work?
No. No, I don't. I stay in there.
Were there any lights on?
No.
Okay, so you're just standing
So it's literally just me sitting in the shop, no lights. I probably would have been better off now thinking about it.
Right, yeah.
That I would have been better off sitting in my chair.
Yeah, because now she's like, why is he standing in the
out
shop with no lights?
Like just sitting on our little wheelie that we have. Just sitting there with my head down, just trying to get it all together.
Okay.
And so...
So like getting it together, what are you feeling? Are you out of control, or are you going? Is the head doing the old wall thing? What's going on?
Yeah, that's good. Like
Okay.
it was like an echo in my head, almost, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Kind of what you just did.
Yeah.
It was just like I was still there, functional around me, but
So
I
you were
wasn't.
aware of what was going on. This isn't a good situation.
Yeah, I was aware that
Okay.
I might have dabbled a little too much. In the
Okay.
gummy.
Maybe half of a gummy would have been.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably just take a nibble of it.
Yeah.
Off of what the results were. I would
Okay.
just take a little bite.
So you're in the shop in the complete dark, like a psychopath.
Yeah.
She's
Ready
probably
to call
at
a
this,
psych ward.
Yeah, she's at this point probably concerned.
Like, is this guy depressed or
What's wrong with him?
what's this guy's
Okay.
what's this guy's deal?
So what happened? How long do you think you're out there? Let me rewind. How much time had passed between when you took the gummy and when you first went to this point? You're outside in your shop.
Oh, it was... The time kind of slips me on this.
Okay.
But if I would venture, because I've left pretty much right in the middle of the movie. So I would say probably around...
Oh, you're looking 45 minutes.
45
okay.
to an hour-ish.
So in reality, it was like 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
You didn't get through the opening credits?
Well, and that's what I've come to find out, is that when I left the shop and walked back, I checked the mail. Because the mail's right there by the way.
So the mailbox is between your house and the shop. So it makes sense. At what time at night was this?
Oh, it was like...
9?
I was going to say it was a little later. I would say it's a little earlier than 9.
Okay.
Probably because we started the movie, I would say around 6 or 7.
So to play it cool, you've been outside probably for like 3 hours, and you're like, I'll just check the mail, and she'll never know. She's
In my
thinking I
mind.
went outside to check the mail.
Yeah, try to just...
Yeah, play it cool.
Play
Hey,
it
look,
cool,
I
act
forgot.
normal.
Yeah.
Liquor's getting to me.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And so, I checked the mail. And there's this little patch of the mailbox that it's a little gravel from the mail lady. She pulls in there just to get closer to the mail.
So kind of like where's your
down.
Okay, yeah.
And so I checked the mail down in there. This has already been probably checked by
Yeah,
me on the way out.
you probably
I
brought the mail in
Yeah,
first
I
time.
probably checked it on the way out. Too.
Okay, but you're playing it cool.
I'm normal. Nothing's going on.
No, you're just a
I didn't
casual
have
guy
any
hanging out in the
guns.
shop in the dark.
Yep.
Checking the mail at 9 p.m.
Yep. Just like a psycho would. Well, I take first step across that little patch. That little wore down
So
patch.
towards the house. You're
Towards
like,
the
I'm
house.
going back in.
I'm going in. Well, I take that step. And then the next step. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I was literally like lagging Call of Duty style across my yard. It was literally like 3 steps forward, a whole bunch, we're back. 3 steps forward, a whole bunch, we're back. And so like...
Wait. Okay, so for people that do not know what Call of Duty is or don't play Call of Duty, what is lagging?
It's a bad connection. I didn't have good connection with my brain.
Okay. So were you actually taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back, or a step forward, or what was going on, or do you even know?
Well, so I felt... I wish I could pull it up on the security camera. I was probably walking like all janky, but it just felt like my head was just like... My feet were being normal, and my head was just low, like lagging behind my feet. And then when I stopped, it just felt like I was just back and forth, back and forth.
So were you like trying to get to the house?
I was trying to get back in there because I'm just like I gotta get back because it wasn't good.
But
So,
so bad connection. You can't get back to the house.
I can, but it takes me what felt like 4 hours to get back to my back porch.
So Was she watching you out the window?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope not.
Oh my god,
Dude.
Okay, so
I never thought about that.
you're lagging across your yard, and she's clearly recording you for any sort of future court interaction.
Just blackmail. Just to hold it against me.
I got this guy now.
Yeah, this guy looks like a complete
This will
idiot.
look good. Yeah, lagging across his yard. I'm gonna get this guy lagging across his yard.
Yeah.
All right. So you're lagging for how long? Are you concerned that you can't make it to the house?
I wasn't concerned about me making it. I was concerned, like, literally in that moment, I'm like, it is taking me forever to get across my yard that's literally probably like 15, 20 feet. I would say it's actually a bit, I'd say about 30 foot wide.
Yeah, you're probably 30 feet. Yeah.
30 foot wide. And it feels like it was taking me, no crap, I get to the house and it felt like it was 4 hours. Like, it felt longer than what it should take to walk 30 feet.
So you finally make it.
I make it into the house. And at this point...
In your mind, are you like, I'm easy, I'm cruising, she has no idea?
No. In my mind, I'm like, I got to blame it on the liquor and I got to go to bed. Yeah, it was that bad. I walked past her, glanced over to my right, and the one thing I remember is that the same movie's still playing. So I'm like, obviously, it hasn't been that long.
You've only been out there like 3 minutes.
I've probably only been out there for like, at most, 15, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I glanced at the movie... And I don't even know, in my head, I told her, I don't feel good, I gotta go to bed. It might have sounded, I don't feel bad. And so...
Wait, it might have sounded like what?
And so, I literally just take off, I strip down, and I go to bed, conked out, done.
Done.
Yeah.
Instant sleep.
Yeah, I literally went to bed. I did have I felt like, the old foot trick when your head gets a little spinny?
Yeah, you put the foot on the ground.
Put the foot on the ground?
Make the room stop spinning.
I do that, and after that...
Done.
Call it a
Gone.
night.
Did she ever say anything to you?
No. Played it off good. I'm an expert.
Are you concerned that she's got like 30 minutes of video footage of you just lagging across the yard, sitting in your shop in the dark? I mean, concerned may be a powerful word because you're not concerned,
No,
but it's possible.
I haven't thought about it until just now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So she may just be ready
She
to
probably
rock.
even paused the movie to play with me. She probably paused it. It was like... She probably just paused it.
It was actually 3 hours.
Yeah, it was actually me.
She pauses it.
Just waits for 2.5.
Yeah, I've had it. I've had it. He's
done
not
it
coming
too
in
many
here.
times.
Coffee liqueured up.
Yep, he's a drunk. Dude.
I've had him walking to the mailbox, checking the mail.
Twice he walked and checked on it on the way out.
He checked out on the way. Okay, so you get in your bed, conked out. She never says a word.
No.
So to this day, has never said what the heck happened to you last night?
Never said.
Why were you lagging across the yard?
She never has brought it up. She hasn't asked about anything other than, maybe my drinking. I maybe tune that down a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing about anything about that night, that day.
So do you think you got away with it?
I want to think that.
All right, coming to you live. Here's his wife. Come on it. No, I'm kidding.
He didn't get away with
that would be, yeah, we got him. We got him.
We got video proof.
We got him.
He's lagging, legit lagging.
Lagging across the yard.
Poor connection with his head across his yard.
So were you hungover the next day, or how'd you feel?
Felt good. Woke up.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Woke up like it never even lagged.
Like you never lagged across your yard. Like
Not once.
You were never a 30-year-old man that couldn't walk 30 feet.
Not
across his
even.
yard.
Not once. Okay. I woke up like brand new me.
Did you take the rest of them?
No, I gave him to the pothead that I work with.
So you were done with it.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't trying to lag.
Have you tried any gummies since then?
Yeah, I tried from the same spot. Great source.
Do we pitch it? Do we give a shout out to this spot? Or is it... Hang on, let me check with our legal, which is also our SME, who also has zero training in any sort of legal background. Do we pitch it or no?
I think you save it because we get a lot of product from them, and we might want to do a sponsored cold call.
Okay.
That's true.
We
may want to do a sponsored cold call.
Y'all ain't going to hear about it.
Yeah, not yet. But we will... We'll pitch them at some point.
Yeah, they hook us up with a lot.
They're pretty solid.
Well, they have to. There's a $5 charge on credit cards.
Yeah.
Or debit
yeah,
cards.
this place has...
They get you.
A limit. You have to spend $5 or they charge you maybe $5. What is it?
So you can't, they literally won't run your card unless it's over $5.
I thought they charge you $3 if it's under $5 just to run your card.
No, I think it's a $5 minimum.
They refuse to run your card.
Yeah, if you don't buy 2 packs of gum instead of 1, you done.
For a bag of gummies and
Yeah.
a coffee liqueur.
That's why, you know, you got to
That's
buy
why
beer.
you had to get both.
That's why I had to get both.
You didn't want the coffee liqueur. You felt like you had to.
I was forced.
Yeah. You had no option.
I was forced. They done
So yeah,
it.
we'll save them.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah.
have you done any Delta 8 gummies since?
Yeah, straight Delta 8.
Okay, so you...
Like no kratom, no CBD, no nothing.
Okay. How did that feel? Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Did you have a bad experience? Or did you lag across wherever you were at?
No, not that time. And that one is honestly...
All right, so have you taken any Delta 8 gummies since?
Yeah, straight Delta 8.
So you made sure there was no... Is there a reason that you said, I'm not taking any sort of gummy with both in it?
Yeah, that trifecta.
Or I guess 3 things.
Yeah, that trifecta on that last one with the kratom.
So is there a reason you didn't take any gummies with all 3 of them in it?
Yeah. That trifecta on that last pack.
It effed you up.
It effed me up. Lagging. So I knocked it down to Delta 8 gummies. Which I have taken Delta 8 gummies, but I just nibble off of them. Because, you know, I'm scared.
So you didn't take the full thing?
No. I think they recommended those on those packages one gummy, but I'm sitting there like a little mouse.
Gotcha. Okay, so did you have any bad reactions then?
Honestly, I haven't dipped into the full gummy to where it messed me up because I'm kind of too nervous off the last trifecta, the gummies.
Do you think it has anything to do with the trifecta and not just that it was, now you don't use it on the reg?
No.
Like, how often do you use it, you think?
No, I mean, like, when I get a little wild here.
Every day?
Well, yeah. I mean, if I can't substitute liquor, if I don't have anything, like, to drink, I'll get a little gummy.
Okay.
But I don't use it hardly. The last time I used it was probably... You remember my last back problem?
No, that's been a while.
Yeah, that's the last time I used that Delta.
Okay, so it's been a hot minute.
Yeah, I don't...
So what do you think in it caused you to lag across your yard? Or was it just a bad experience?
No, I think that there was definitely something in it. I think that it was... Because I've had the Delta 8. Granted, I haven't taken big portions of it. And I've had CBD, you know, that's just...
Does CBD have any reaction, or is it just kind of, you just cruise through it?
I just cruise through it.
Okay, so nothing at all?
Nothing.
Okay.
And even the Delta 8 at low doses, really, I mean, I'm talking low doses, like not even a half gummy, not even probably a third of the gummy.
Okay.
Just nibbles. But I guarantee it was a kratom. I
Yes.
guarantee it. I mean, because what was it, 15 milligrams for it, or?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you remember what that was? So you haven't taken kratom since?
No, I haven't touched it.
Okay.
Haven't touched it.
So the Delta 8 you're cool with, you think it may have been the kratom. Do you remember? Let's go to our SME and see what was the...
It was 21 milligrams of
Yeah.
kratom.
So 21 milligrams of kratom mixed with the, how many milligrams of Delta 8?
25.
Mixed with the 25 milligrams of Delta 8, you think is what got you? Because CBD doesn't do anything to you.
Yeah, no, CBD, I without a doubt know that didn't do anything.
Okay.
The Delta 8 and the kratom,
Jacked you up.
yeah, got me lagging hard.
Gotcha. So what you're saying is that's all the more reason for people to come to Pitching It Drug Trends to learn about kratom.
Absolutely. And if I would have known a little bit about the kratom, because I didn't even know what it was. And that was my first time taking it. And if I would have known about it, I probably would have been on more alert of it. Because all I saw was the Delta 8. And that's what I've been told that helps. Not so much, you know, this is coming from subject matter expert finisher at the cabinet shop.
Sure, yeah. So a guy making cabinets tells you it does this for him.
Yeah, so like, you know, take it with a grain of salt.
Sure.
But he said it helps. It doesn't get you. I mean, it gets you high, but it doesn't get you that kind of the paranoid. He's like, it's good for like if you have like problems, you can get a good night's sleep. And at that time, I had back problems, and so I'm like, I kind of wouldn't mind just getting a good sleep because I have to sleep with my feet up because of my lower back, dude. Yeah, I had to sleep with my feet up, like on my couch. I'd sit there with my feet up, like that girl going in pregnancy, being pregnant, you know?
Okay. So, would you take kratom again?
No.
Okay.
Not when I'm doing that.
All right, fair enough. Well, maybe one time I will, I guess one of these episodes I could talk about someone else that has taken kratom in the room. But I think I'll probably maybe bypass that. Hang on, I'm looking at my legal expert, also known as my SME, also known to have no legal background. Do I save that?
I think we do a kratom episode.
Okay.
We started talking about Delta 8
Okay.
If it's for the cast, I'll do Kratom.
For the cast, you'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Because you're dedicated. You're in it.
I want this cast to succeed.
Okay. So I'm being told by the SME, also known as my business manager, that we will do a full Kratom episode.
Yeah. Because I'm not. I would be with everybody.
All right. So I'll save my
I'm not
Kratom
by myself
story.
in my shop.
Okay.
Get scary out there by yourself.
Fair enough. All right. So it looks like we are on task. Are we on task, SME?
Yep, keep it up.
All right, we're right on task. Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah,
which
keep
is
it up.
all the motivation that we get around here.
Just a freaking lash, a whip.
Yeah, keep
Just
it up.
Getting us.
Yeah, not even like, hey, doing a good job.
Or,
your story was
Bird,
great.
your story was great.
Yeah. This is really concluding our first podcast, our first episode, if you will, of the Highway. I guess sponsored by Extracted. Is it sponsored by Extracted? You know what? I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
Because this is our podcast.
You're the
Say
man,
whatever
dude.
we want, dude.
You're
We're
the
the
man.
talent.
Say whatever you want.
So we do have, kind of in conclusion, we have some things that we want to hear from you guys. So number one, does it suck? If it sucks, tell us, because this is kind of I don't know what you say, kind of a lot of work to put together and sit down and do.
Bought a whole studio for it.
But yeah, we did buy a whole studio just for this podcast. And it's probably about, I don't know, 42 degrees in here right now. I have no shoes on.
Can't feel my toes.
Do you have shoes on?
No, heck no.
right,
With the respect of the studio.
Yeah, for respect of the studio, we took our shoes off because it is a nice studio. Does the SME also has no shoes on, so there's not a shoe on in the room. But anyway, if it sucks, let us know. If it was good, let us know. We'll try a few more. Obviously, like any pilot episode, it's kind of hard to get started. But for future podcasts, we have some ideas of some great, or what I think is great, featured guests. But we want to know who you guys want on first. So we have a couple options here, and we'll probably put a poll up. I'm looking at the SME. I get the head nod. Yes, so we're going to put a poll up for this. So number one is going to be a defense attorney, and I think we will allow this person. I don't want to say her name yet, right?
Yeah,
I don't
fine.
know. She does want to.
We haven't talked
She
about
already said she. So she does want to be on the podcast. I'm excited to have her on here. I do consider her one of my friends, though she's a defense attorney, and we disagree on a lot of things. And I'm clearly right, and she's clearly wrong. But I think her coming on here would be phenomenal. You guys can ask questions, or we can have some maybe send out some questions for you to ask her before, because obviously this isn't live. So she is an option. We also have a road guy who is an officer who is a liberal, which I think is important. So we get the view of a lib. What do you think about that? And not that we're against it. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's important.
I like to hear the other side.
Yeah.
I like to talk to them respectfully.
Right. We're all humans. So let's get a point of view. I mean, yeah.
I will respect him.
Yeah. So we'll say he is, which, I mean, I don't talk about my political, no political stuff. But he is a phenomenal friend of mine. He's funny. He's still on the road, and I hope he gets promoted very quickly. But he would be I guess since I'm in South Missouri, I say hoot. He would be a hoot.
Yeah.
He would be
a hoot.
He would be a hoot.
He's a good old hoot.
He'd be a hoot to have on. We also have potentially, I haven't cleared this with him yet, but an individual who is a professor. So he actually has his doctorate. Who is also in law enforcement, phenomenal guy. I would also say one of my mentors, if you will. A couple other ones. We have some possible DA task force guys that may want to come on and talk a little bit about what they do. This guy's also hilarious. In fact, he anytime around him, I just light up because he's phenomenal. Have another good friend of mine who was, which you've met him, right? Machete. I don't want to say his name out loud, but the guy I used to work with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think I heard the Shmee whisper his name, so
Yeah.
we may have to edit that out. But
Yeah.
you've met him. So Marine Corps
Yeah.
officer, phenomenal guy, groomsman in my wedding.
Definitely would be interesting to
Yeah.
talk to for sure.
Goes by the name Machete or Machete, depending on who you're talking to. So let's see. Anyone else we have? Let's see. Those are really the ones we have lined up. I'm hoping to get a few more. But so yeah, we have the defense attorney. We have my road guy, Lib. We possibly have a professor or a doctor. And then also Machete, who is currently a school resource officer was in the Marine, or is in the Marine Corps, I guess I should say. I guess the reserves?
Yeah.
Is that what that would be?
Yeah.
Okay. Marine Corps Reserves, and is currently a road officer and a phenomenal friend of mine. So let us know who you would like to have on the podcast next. I believe our next episode is going to be concluding 2022 and the highlights of 2022. So possibly our third episode is who we'll be looking to have our guests on. So January would be the January would be the ones for the guests, or probably the end of January, right? By the time this one drops, by the time you edit out all the nonsense.
Yep.
Okay, so by the time the nonsense is edited out, we'll probably have our first guest on. So let us know who it is. Be looking for the poll on our social media platform. So Instagram, which is @extract_ed_training. And then Facebook would be @extracted_training, all one word. Do you want to plug anything?
No, I'm good for right now.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I appreciate... Oh, go. What's
No,
up?
Extraction is just...
Extracted,
I love it.
On it.
They're the business.
We're on it, man.
We're always.
We're on it. All right, so I appreciate everybody joining us for our first podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, it is what it is. We're coming out with another one anyway. So everybody be safe and enjoy the rest of the day. Peace!
Later.